So today we're going to be adding 3 more states. Okay, so I want you to get out your crayons and I want you to actually color in these because it'll help to keep track of which ones we're adding. Okay, so today we're going to be adding New York. So kind of gently color that one and don't go over the lines, just fill it in so that you know, okay, these are the ones I'm adding. So we're adding New York. We're adding Pennsylvania, and we're adding New Jersey. Okay? Now, once you've got that filled in, move your crayon aside and get out your pencil because we're going to do some finger thumb measurements just to kind of study carefully some of the detail of these. All right. So we've already we're always starting with this original rectangle of Vermont and New Hampshire. And we're using that as kind of our measurement a lot. Okay, so we started off with this rectangle. We started to add the mitten. Last week we added Massachusetts and Connecticut and Rhode Island. And now we're going to go on to add New York. Now, New York's eastern border is already formed by states you know. Perfect, okay? So, we're going to measure the height of New York. So get your pencil thumb and measure the height. Keep that. Oh, man. Okay, you're going to take that, and this is also going to be the length of it too. Did you see that? New York. We're looking at New York. So that height of New York is also the length of it. Did you see that did you do it on yours? Also, this bottom border of New York is a continuation of the bottom of Massachusetts. Do you see that? Look at the bottom of Massachusetts, break, and then it continues here. So how we're going to make that line, that bottom line, is we're going to measure the height. We're going to put our thumb where Massachusetts is, and it's going to go straight out from there. We're going to make a pencil mark and then connect those. Make a break. Okay? So that's our first step of making New York. These are connected with kind of a wave shape. We kind of simplify it into a little bit of a wave. You'll see it on the other side. And then a little bit of a, since it's a continuation of the bottom of Massachusetts, we have to drop it down so it hits the bottom of Connecticut. Do you see that? And that's how we're going to make New York. Next, we're going to move on to Pennsylvania. And I kind of think this, if you flip it over here, I kind of feel like New York kind of looks like some sort of abstract eagle beak. Some sort of bird beak here, and its head is here. So I'm going to start calling this the beak of New York, okay? So we're going to start Pennsylvania kind of at the beak of New York. And it kind of drops down a little bit at an angle. And then we're going to have a straight down, a line that goes straight down from there. And it is the same height of our Vermont and New Hampshire. So it drops down the same. So again, we're going to measure the Vermont, New Hampshire height. And look, it's just about the same height for Pennsylvania. Try measuring that. Check me, am I right? Sure. Josiah, did you do it? So that's how we're going to form that baseline. So remember, the bottom of New York was a continuation of Massachusetts, and then the bottom of Pennsylvania is going to run parallel. Again, a parallel to New York. What's parallel? Seth, what is it?
Parallel is something that goes two things that go straight.
Yes, two lines that will never coincide. And so the baseline of New York and the baseline of Pennsylvania are parallel. Okay? And then, so we draw that line parallel to the bottom of New York. And then it ends with kind of a C shape here. Like, here's a candy bar and somebody took a bite out of the Hershey candy bar, which happens to come from Pennsylvania. Anyways, okay? The last one we're going to add is New Jersey. And New Jersey, if you kind of use your imagination, is in the shape of a J. Okay? Kind of a shape of a J, a little bit. Use your imagination. It'll help. New Jersey, J. Got it? So to do that, we're going to start just a little bit at the bottom of Pennsylvania, where that kind of C shape is. And it's going to drop down, hook up, and go up and connect to New York. And it kind of forms a J. Oh, also part of New York. I forgot Long Island. See this? That's also part of New York. And so we're gonna draw it just as a nice little small oval right underneath Connecticut. Okay? So now that we have our states, we've kind of looked at them carefully. Now we're going to trace it. Okay? So carefully lay your paper over the top. If you need tape, I think we have some to keep things in place if you need it. Yes, Titus?
Can we write all the black stuff?
What?
Can we write the black? Can we erase our
If you can't, those colors are, I think if you can still see the states, you shouldn't have to erase it. Okay? All right. So again, we're always going to start with that original rectangle of Vermont and New Hampshire. That should look something like that. Always start there. Always. No matter how many states we're adding, start with Vermont and New Hampshire. Go ahead and divide it so that we have Vermont, New Hampshire. Okay? Starting from the top of that rectangle, we're going to, remember, our height of Vermont tells us how high we should be going up, correct? We're going to pencil thumb that. So we have the height of Maine. Sorry, my paper moved. It reaches up to that height. We've got a thumb that comes out, and it connects down at the bottom. What do we do next? So we've got Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. What comes next? What state is it? Anyone?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. We're going to continue that Vermont line down just a little bit. Draw a parallel line. Make a hook. And then we have Massachusetts, M-A. Okay, what comes next?
Connecticut.
Connecticut and what, Josiah?
Rhode Island.
Good. So we're going to continue that Vermont line straight down. And it kind of goes up there to that hook. And then we're going to, 1/3 of it is going to be Rhode Island. This one's Connecticut. Okay. So this is what we did last week. So now we have to add on first New York. So this is the height of New York. Oh man, here we go. This is our height of New York. Now we're going to find out the width. Remember, it follows that Massachusetts line, and it should be the same length. Oops. And I'm actually going to continue my line really lightly to connect there. I can erase that. All right. Then it kind of makes, what did we say? The eagle's beak and his head. And then we have to make his throat that connects down here to the bottom. Okay, now we have New York. Do you have that? Okay. Everybody have New York down? Now we're going to move on to Pennsylvania.
Wait, what's the sign for New York?
I'm sorry, what? Oh, NY. Sorry, NY. Now we're going to move on to Pennsylvania. I'm going to move this up just a hair. My paper moved on me. All right. So starting at just about the beak, we're going to have a small angled line that goes out. And then we need to make a straight line down. Who remembers what height we're using for that? The Vermont, New Hampshire, right? So I'm going to go to that line, and this is going to form the bottom line of Pennsylvania. Remember, Pennsylvania is going to run parallel to this line. So we're just going to draw a straight line from there and then connect those. Then it kind of has that C shape. Whoop. Pennsylvania is PA. Okay, this is the process I want you to do all week long. Same process. Do you have Pennsylvania?
Mm-hmm.
All right. At the bottom of that bottom corner of Pennsylvania, we're going to make a J, a fat J. It starts here, kind of curves up. And this is New Jersey, NJ. And then we don't want to forget Long Island. That's attached to New York. That's part of New York. And then you have it.
Do you have a abbreviation for Long Island?
No, it should be about the length of Connecticut.
Like in Y for New York.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, do you have
Oh, is there an abbreviation for Long Island? No, it's a part of New York. It's just an island off of New York. And then you have it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pause that.